ये रेसिज्म का जो टॉपिक है ये सिर्फ हमारी कम्युनिटी इंडियन कम्युनिटी का नहीं है, ऑल्दो एग्जैक्टली सो हम when we approached the province and when we approached Mosaic, both of them agreed कि ये जो टॉपिक है ये पूरे नेशन का है, हमारी पूरी कल्चर का है, राइट? हमारे कनेडियंस का भी ये प्रॉब्लम है. सो इसको दूर करना हम सबका फर्ज बनता है. What a better month and day to help eliminate racism would be Holi. So we've tied this to Holi, which happens to be on the 6th of March, but because हम लोग सब Saturday को काम नहीं करते या ज़्यादातर लोग काम नहीं करते, so we thought we will make March 7th as the main day. And starting from March 7th, we will have majority of the city halls participating with us. So उनके सिटी हॉल्स में या उसके करीब जो लाइब्रेरीज वगैरह हैं वहाँ पे लोग जाके सैटरडे वाले दिन 12 से लेके 4 बजे तक इन कलर्ड वाटर दे कैन पुट देयर हैंड्स एंड पुट देयर हैंड इम्प्रिंट्स, जिससे वो ये दर्शाएंगे कि दे आर अगेंस्ट रेसिज्म. एंड प्रोविंस हैज गॉट अनदर इनिशिएटिव.
हम लोग चाहते हैं कि ये कॉन्वर्सेशन, जब तक ये इशू है तब तक ये कॉन्वर्सेशन चलता रहे, एक पॉइंट पे ये आके रुक ना जाए. तो इसीलिए इसमें हमारी तरफ से हम लोग इसको प्ले देंगे ऑन द वेब एंड इन प्रिंट. So stories about racism, people supporting anti-racism can send us selfies of them with their hands raised against racism, and they can post it, they can send it to us by email. Those photos will be available on our site and updated as and when the photos keep coming in. So anybody who wants to participate in this campaign can send us an email and check it out on vancouverdesi.com/holy.
So we can just take our own selfies and send them to you guys.
Absolutely. And it's easy, right? You just got to take a selfie with your raised hands and send an email. And if you like, you can actually send an anti-racism message along with your photo, which will be used in the caption, which can be shared on social media. So we are trying to give it as much digital push as we can, because we want more and more people to know about this campaign and spread it. We want to spread it like wildfire.
We have great help from Mosaics. Ninu Kang is with us. Ninu?
Absolutely. I mean, we're thrilled to be part of this because we're an organization that's been around providing services to new immigrants and refugees for almost 40 years. And in addition to providing direct services and helping one-to-one client in their settlement and integration into the country, it's also really important for us to be part of initiatives or ourselves create initiatives that educates the community, that provides information and knowledge and becomes part of social change. And the issue of discrimination and racism is one that sometimes takes the back seat. I mean, if you look at 30 years ago, when I was in high school growing up, racism, acts of racism were very overt.
Yes.
So you would be called a name, you would, you could see signs up in northern BC saying no dogs, no Hindus allowed into this pub, and those kinds of very overt racism. And but now you may not see such overt actions.
Yes, they are hidden, right?
Right. They're subtle, and I think, perhaps before we continue the conversation, one of the things to also acknowledge is that many immigrants and refugees they come, and we also know that many people, they come here and they become, they work hard and they become successful and they do well, and sometimes they pull themselves out of poverty. But as we talk about new immigrants and refugees coming into the country and transforming Canada, it's really, really important to know that while this discourse is happening around new immigrants Settling and so on, we continue to live in a country where the Aboriginal people, the First Nations people of this country, continue to experience racism at higher and higher and higher levels. So I think it's really important for us to start with that we cannot be a country free of racism. We cannot be a country that can claim on an international level that Canada is the place to live until we acknowledge and address the issue of racism of the First Nation.
First of all, okay, So you brought a point, so I'll just go to Gurpreet for a second because we'll get Gurpreet's input into this. Gurpreet.
Well, I would say that Bernie is a marvelous guy. He came up with a very innovative idea because he's trying to position Holi, which is a festival of colors,
Yes.
as a statement against racism.
Fantastic. Yes.
That's an excellent thing he did.
Mm-hmm.
ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਏਟਿਵ ਲਿਆ
ਜੀ
ਇਹ ਲੌਂਗ ਰਨ ਚ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਬੜਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਹੋਲੀ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਰੰਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਤਿਉਹਾਰ ਨੂੰ
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ you're right
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਰੰਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਭੇਦ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨ
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ
ਲਿਆ
ਜੀ
ਇਹ ਲੌਂਗ ਰਨ ਚ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਬੜਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਹੋਲੀ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਰੰਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਤਿਉਹਾਰ ਨੂੰ
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ you're right ਕਿਉਂਕਿ
ਰੰਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਭੇਦ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਵਾਲਾ ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਕਿ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਵਰਗੇ ਮੌਕੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਸੀ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਜਸਟਿਸ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮਿਸ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਪਰ ਹੋਲੀ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਏਟਿਵ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਔਰ ਬਰਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਔਰ ਇਵਨ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਡੀਸੀ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਵਧਾਈ ਦੇਣੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਲਮਾਸ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਨੇ ਸਟੋਰੀਜ਼ ਰਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਰੇਸਿਜ਼ਮ ਤੇ ਸੋ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਗੋਇੰਗ ਟੂ ਵਰਕ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਗੁੱਡ ਟੀਮ ਐਂਡ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਊਡ ਟੂ ਹੈਵ ਨੀਨੂ ਵਿਦ ਅਸ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿਣੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਆਈ ਵਾਸ ਲਿਸਨਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਨੀਨੂ's story and I was listening to Alma's story. In this room I'm just one man sitting here. So we are hearing the voices of Harsha, Almas, Sushma ji and Neenu and also Ish. So what I'm trying to say कि racism is so dangerous. ਜਿਹੜੀ women of color ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ affect ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ
you're so right
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ racism ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ because of their color, because of their gender within their community also they are facing double discrimination. So we have to continue this struggle. That is more important.
your turn Neenu.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent point, Gurpreet, is that when we look at various forms of discrimination, racism is one aspect of it. You know, and as individual, again, we talk about, I think it's, we've been trying to, this morning, contextualize racism in a system, in a structure of hierarchy, right? So it's individual, society, culture, who have dominant position doing on to those with less power, and individuals, we're not all equal. We are all individually, whether we have various levels of power and privilege, and we have various levels of experience of less power and less privilege. So whether it can be looked at by gender, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and all of those things. And I too am really thrilled about this initiative, Sushma ji. I think that all the things Gurpreet said, but in addition, I think it's a twofold benefit. I think, as I said, new Canadians, new immigrants, refugees coming into this country, they do feel that they're the other. They're not part of the dominant group. Yeah. And people have different stories. They'll tell you it took me 5 years to feel like a Canadian. Sometimes people say I never felt like a Canadian. My father would probably still say he was Indian, 45 years later. And he would still sing Mere Desh Ki Dharti Sona Ugle. He kept having this dream about India. So, we all feel our connection to Canada at a different times. So the message through this initiative, using Holi and the Festival of Colors to talk about a real lived experience here in Canada empowers new immigrants. They think, you mean we are important, our culture, our traditions, our celebrations are integrated into the Canadian context, right, into talking about racism. I think that empowers new immigrants to feel like they can also be part of it. And that other thing is, when you look at it from the dominant group, those who identify themselves as Canadian, they take on, they feel part of the dominant culture. They also see that, we cannot just claim Canada as our own.
And today, 15th of January, we've launched a campaign called Raise Your Hands Against Racism. And for that, we've got our media and print partners, Province, Vancouver Desi, we've got Mosaic, we've got all the lower mainland municipalities, We are working with them at the moment to finalize everything. So I wanted to find out from Gurpreet ji and from Ninu and Almas as to what is the next step.
Sushma ji, I would say that we should try to get as many people involved.
Mm-hmm.
We should be going out, spreading the word,
Mm-hmm.
doing it both at informal and formal level.
Ninu?
In terms of getting people involved, I think there are many listeners who are in positions of power, and I think they might be working for companies, organizations. Why not take this back into your businesses? Take this initiative and talk to people within your groups and say, hey, there's this great initiative going on. It creates dialogue.
Yes.
It creates an opportunity to people to talk and think. From Mosaic's perspective, we have access to many new immigrants that come through our doors. We will be promoting this internally to the new immigrant communities, to our clients, to our staff, our constituents. So definitely, we're thrilled to various other partners we come in contact with. So we're thrilled to spread the word and be part of this dialogue.
The ending of it all is going to be on the 7th of, that will be the middle part, 7th of March, when from 12 to 4 in different areas of the Lower Mainland, people would be able to put their hands in colored water and put their imprint on a piece of paper.